Every generation of dancehall produces artists who become more than musicians. They become symbols. For thousands of young Jamaicans, Andre Morris Whitaker, better known as Squash, represented ambition, resilience, and success. Raised in Salt Spring, Montego Bay, he transformed hardship into chart-topping hits. Songs like Big Breeze and Shub Out helped propel him from local stages to international recognition. But as his celebrity grew, so did the attention surrounding his personal life, because fame doesn't just attract fans. Sometimes it attracts investigators. By early 2025, according to an FBI affidavit, federal agents were conducting an investigation unrelated to Squash's music career. The affidavit states investigators believed he was associated with individuals they were already monitoring. It is important to note that an affidavit contains allegations used to establish probable cause. They are not findings of guilt unless proven in court. During the judicial process, Squash's attorneys strongly disputed descriptions that associated him with an organized criminal group. Those allegations were never the offense to which he ultimately pleaded guilty. Still, federal surveillance continued. February 24, 2025, approximately 9:30 p.m., according to federal court documents, FBI agents conducting surveillance observed Squash and two other men leaving a party boat on Miami Beach. Agents say the group walked toward a Mercedes-Benz registered to another individual. The affidavit describes what investigators believe they witnessed. According to agents, one man appeared to remove a dark-colored object from his waistband before handing it to Squash. Investigators believe the object was a firearm. The document states Squash then placed the object into his waistband before entering the passenger seat. At that moment, investigators decided to continue following the vehicle. Minutes later, the Mercedes attracted police attention. According to the affidavit, investigators observed several traffic violations before Miami Beach police initiated a stop. During the encounter, officers say Squash made movements toward the glove compartment while seated in the passenger seat. The driver reportedly consented to a vehicle search. What officers say they discovered would change the direction of the entire investigation. Inside the Mercedes, police recovered 2 loaded Glock pistols, according to federal investigators. One Glock 19 was located inside the passenger side glove compartment. Another Glock 35 was recovered beneath the driver's seat. Investigators also recovered multiple loaded magazines, including what court documents describe as an extended magazine. But the Glock found near where Squash had been seated drew particular attention. Federal firearms experts later examined the weapon. According to court filings, the pistol had allegedly been modified with what authorities describe as an Invisi switch, a conversion device commonly referred to on the street as a Glock switch, or in Jamaica, a chip Glock. Authorities stated the modification allowed the pistol to function as a machine gun under U.S. federal law. Investigators also reported that the firearm's serial number had been partially defaced. Federal tracing later linked the firearm to a purchase made by Squash's wife, according to the affidavit. The firearm wasn't the only issue. Federal investigators also examined Squash's immigration status. Court records state he initially entered the United States legally in 2019. Authorities later alleged he re-entered the country in 2021 without inspection, following a separate encounter with law enforcement in 2023. Immigration proceedings reportedly began. During that period, Squash married a U.S. citizen. However, the immigration case remained unresolved. Under U.S. law, federal prosecutors alleged that because he lacked lawful immigration status, he was prohibited from possessing firearms. That allegation, not any gang-related claim, became the central criminal charge. As the case progressed, defense attorneys pushed back against allegations suggesting Squash was the leader of a transnational criminal organization. Those characterizations, they argued, were unsupported. Ultimately, The criminal case centered on a much narrower legal question. Federal prosecutors charged Squash with possession of a firearm while unlawfully present in the United States. Rather than proceed to trial, he entered a guilty plea. By pleading guilty, he admitted to the federal firearm offense. Months after his arrest, the federal judge delivered the sentence: 2 years and 3 months in federal prison. The sentence brought an end to months of legal proceedings that had followed one of Jamaica's biggest dancehall stars. After serving his prison term, he is expected to face immigration proceedings that could determine whether he remains in the United States. This story isn't simply about one entertainer. It highlights the intersection of fame, immigration law, federal firearm statutes, and the consequences that can follow when those worlds collide. In the United States, federal firearm laws involving undocumented immigrants carry serious penalties, regardless of celebrity status. For public figures, every decision can become public, every mistake a headline. For fans, Squash remains one of dancehall's most recognizable voices. For prosecutors, this case ended with a guilty plea to a federal firearm offense. For the courts, on March 2nd this year, Squash mailed a suit to the court in the Western District of Louisiana, listing the facility's warden and the Bureau of Prisons, who has broader jurisdiction over the facility, as defendants. In his suit, Squash argued that he was being denied access to sentence reduction benefits available to inmates under the First Step Act and the Second Chance Act of 2008. Under the First Step Act, eligible inmates can earn up to 15 days of sentence reduction for 30 days of participation in an eligible recidivism program. Squash insisted in the filings that he is a first-time non-violent offender who is at low risk for recidivism, and he should benefit from participation in sentence reduction programs despite his immigration status. He argued that he was stripped of his constitutional rights to the benefits by alleging the prison claimed there was a final order of deportation against him. Squash strongly denied the claim, insisting there is an immigration hold against him. He says only an immigration judge can make a final order for deportation, and he has not had any hearing to that effect. The entertainer argued that his constitutional rights were being violated and that he was being barred from participating in sentence reduction programs. But a judge tossed the suit this week after the entertainer, whose given name is Andre Morris Whitaker, failed to respond to an April request from the court. The court received Squash's suit by mail on March 6th, and on March 16th, they wrote to Squash, telling him he needed to refile his claim on the approved form for it to be considered. The entertainer was also told that he didn't submit a filing fee. He was given 30 days to address the matter. On April 7th, Squash paid the $5 filing fee, but he never refiled the petition on the approved form. On July 16th, Magistrate Judge Thomas P. LeBlanc struck Squash's petition from the record. The entertainer may already be benefiting from the provisions of the First Step and the Second Chance Acts. He is currently serving that sentence at the FCI Oakdale Minimum Security Prison in Louisiana in the United States. Release date to be January 25th, 2027. Since then, his release date was updated to December 26, 2026. His new release date is December 11, 2026. The matter has now reached its conclusion, but one question still remains. When his sentence ends, will this mark the beginning of a comeback?